kitchen was upstairs. Pinch was counting his steps and stopped on the 7th stair. This was handy, as he couldn't count past 10. He had left something important behind. He unrolled his tail all the way back to the bedroom and picked up his scarf. With one twitch, he wrapped it 3 times round his neck. They sung as they went up the stairs. We find most things funny. We laugh when times are good. We laugh when times are bad. We laugh when it is sunny. And we laugh when times are sad. Skittle stopped at the kitchen door. She thought for a moment. Perhaps we should have sung, we don't laugh when times are bad or sad. Doesn't sound as good, said Pinch. But I agree, it's all right to feel sad. Yes, said Skittle, but we're not sad today. Not with the snow. Today is a day for laughter. That's a fact, said Pinch. Chapter 2, in which we meet Skittle's mum, Admiral Bonnet, and her dad, Captain Spoons, and we learn that the Tindims are top recyclers. Not long ago, Captain Spoons, Skittle's dad, had fished a large plastic bag out of the sea. Inside were 5 soggy boxes with the word crackers on the lid. Admiral Bonnet, Skittle's mum, had no idea what crackers meant, but she liked the colourful paper hats inside. As with all wet things, they had to be dried out. Only then would the Tindims know if they were useful. Some things just stay a mess, but luckily not the paper hats. It shows us, said Admiral Bonnet, that the Longlegs are a strange bunch. Skittle's mum and dad had used the paper hats to wallpaper the kitchen, and it looked most jolly. Captain Spoons had made a light from the plastic trinkets they found in the crackers and hung it above the kitchen table. Their table was made of driftwood and their chairs from plastic cups. Good neap tide to you, said Captain Spoons. That's the Tindim way of saying good morning. Captain Spoons was in charge of the frying pan. He tossed a pancake into the air. Skittle grabbed a plate and caught the pancake just in time. The Tindims were recyclers. In fact, they were recyclers well before the word had even found a plastic bag to crawl out of. They had been around as long as the Vikings. That's a very long time indeed. The Vikings, being hairy and furious, had sea battles. It was from a piece of a longboat shipwreck that the Tindims began to build Rubbish Island. Then came sailors and pirates and galleons with tall sails and treasure chests. They left lots floating about for the Tindims to keep building with. The Longlegs didn't know about the Tindims. Years passed and times changed, and instead of glass and wood, along came plastic in different shapes and sizes. The Tindims began to realise that everything they thought was useful was rubbish to the Longlegs. For a long time that didn't matter. They carried on recycling. Their motto was, "Rubbish today is treasure tomorrow." But now, with the sea full of plastic bottles, the Tindims wondered if they could still be called treasure. The Tindims made a pile of plastic bottles. The pile became a mound, the mound became a hill, the hill became a mountain. Their island had always floated, bobbing in the waves, and it was the job of Admiral Bonnet and Captain Spoons to steer it safely through the ocean. Captain Spoons' wheelhouse was at the top of the tower that he had built onto their house. He reached it by way of the kitchen and a twisty-turny staircase, and from there he made sure the island didn't bump into rocks, cruise liners, or long-leg divers. A thin tube near the captain's chair went all the way down through the island to the engine room. Captain Spoons was able to talk to spokes in the engine room. But right now there was no point in pulling up the anchor and starting the engine because of Bottle Mountain. Captain Spoons said, "We shouldn't be in a snowstorm. We should leave tomorrow if we're to find the sunshine for the Bright Sea Festival," said Admiral Bonnet. "Yes," said Skittle, "the sacks will be handy."